Alright, what's going on, guys? Back again today with another video. It's a little bit late here where I am, but I wanted to bring you some stuff. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to open our clan chest, another 10 out of 10. I don't know how much I contributed, let's see here. Nice at the bottom. 6, 37th, the exam season. Sorry guys, not really much else I can do, but we're going to open this. I always click that and it never opens, but that's okay, we're learning. Some gold. Great, those are awesome. Some mortars. Hoping for legendary, like most people in the game. Furnace, Baraput, nice. Minions, oh, nice. The Expo, something I probably won't use again, but anyways. Alright, but now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on. And I'm going to show you something. So as you guys may have noticed, there has been an epic challenge ongoing here. So I'm going to jump over to my other account. One of my other 4 accounts here. I'm going to show you some stuff. So I managed to get 9 wins using a deck that I actually made myself. I didn't actually take this from any YouTubers or really get it from anybody in particular. I just kind of mashed some cards together. I was just kind of trying not to think about the human memory learning course that I'm supposed to be studying. And I kind of just brainstormed decks. So this is what I came up with. It's a HOG Dark Prince Lumberjack deck. So the reason I kind of wanted to use the Dark Prince and the Lumberjack is just because I don't think enough people use them, or they're not really common in the game. But honestly, the Lumberjack and the Dark Prince really saved my behind a couple times this. Of course, you got your staple defensive cards like the Electro Wizard. I know somebody who's super fond of the Ice Wizard too. Furnace is just generally really good for chip, and this Poison adds a really nice element of coverage. And then the minions, can't really go wrong with minions. Do I have anything good in the shop? Heck no. Theme of Royal Giants. But yeah, I'm going to donate some cards. Welcome inside my other clan. Thanks everybody for watching these cool new replays. So yeah, as you can see, this is my 8th. I don't know why it says 8, but it should be 9. Can't see it over here. But we're going to jump into a couple of replays again. I can't really stream live because things haven't been going very well. I'm going to show you a really impressive victory. Where is it here? I did play a lot of E-Barbs. This one, I want to watch this one. This one's good. So this guy's using E-Barbs, and I want to show you how good the Dark Prince can actually be against E-Barbs. This was something I didn't really know, I didn't really think of until I used it against it, but it's surprisingly good. And Dark Prince is really good at shutting down the P.E.K.K.A. just because it does have that one-hit shield. So we're taking on a Rico from Team Quebec Clan. That's a catchy name. And you can see he's running kind of Golem E-Barbs. I didn't really know that. I start with my Hog, minion push. He drops his Furnace. Luckily the Hog tanks for the minion, so I do manage to chip out the Furnace. That's good. A couple hits on the Mega Minion also prevent me from taking too much damage. Does he get aggressive with his Golem? He is going to get aggressive. He's going to play aggressive in the Golem super early. That's not really how I play my Golems. I usually like to wait till the last minute and a half, because then you can really start pounding people with the Golem, and just kind of have a continuous Golem cycle, really. But he plays it really early. So now you can see how well this deck can deal with Golem. The fact he didn't really have a heavy spell like a lightning or a rocket to kind of counter the things I put down really helped too. And the kind of fact that this is somewhat on the cheaper side, I think it is. Actually, I think it's kind of heavy, but anyways. The fact that it's a nice versatile deck means that, I managed to outlive this. Lumberjack for defensive purposes in the Rage also really helps. If those minions weren't raged, I probably would have had a lot more tower damage done, but as you can see, we escaped pretty unscathed. We were able to start a little bit of a counter push. Sorry, it's a little bit late. And I'm not very good at articulating, it appears. But we only did take 100 damage from that attack, which is pretty good for saying it's a Golem pushing a lot of elixir invested. This is kind of annoying. I had to Ice Wizard this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't use the Ice Wizard very much, but it is a very good defensive card. It's super annoying to play against, especially if you're playing something quicker like a Hog, which is what this deck kind of is. So again, we're getting a little bit more chip damage on the Furnace, which is good because Furnace can be really annoying if you don't shut it down properly. I kind of had to start saving my Furnace to deal with this Golem, which is why you don't see me playing it as much. I will play it here, and Furnace is also really good against Elite Barbarians. Couple other, I guess, news from Clash Royale too. They have a new Radio Royale out, and if you don't listen to that, I suggest you do. It's really good content. They did the question episode today, and I was thrilled. It was pretty good. A lot of stuff, a little bit of sneak peeks in the future too on that. They also kind of remind everybody that they are nerfing, not really, but they are nerfing E-Barbarians and the Royal Giant a little bit. Royal Giant's going to be, instead of a 1 second deploy time, it's going to be 2. So just a little bit slower, so this kind of gives you a little bit more time to react. And Elite Barbarians are nerfing, I know they're nerfing their first attack swing by like 0.1 seconds or something like that, something really minute. And I don't know if they, can't remember if they're getting rid of their health. I think they might be decreasing it a little bit. But yeah, it's probably not going to change that many things. They kind of said in the podcast their goal is not really to neutralize cards, to more balance and not really eliminate. But yeah. So I'm also kind of working on a little bit of another project for the channel. Not really, just kind of a content project. So hopefully I'll be bringing that to you guys if I do, as soon as I get a little bit more add on to that. But you know, that'll hopefully be in the near future after my exams and everything are done. So something to look out for. Anyways, back to the replay. You know, I guess that's why we're watching this. Dark Prince again. I did upgrade it. This is an earlier game where I only hit level 2. After I kind of saw its value, I decided to upgrade it. So there we go. Drop the poison there. That's going to help neutralize the Electro Wizard. And word of the day is neutralize and get some chip damage on the tower. He's going to drop his Musketeer. I like using my Lumberjack to deal with the Musketeer, just because it is very efficient with its hit speed. And if they're not careful and it gets a couple chips off, it's very good. As you'll see here when it goes to town in the furnace. Like again, man, if you use the Lumberjack right, he took out a furnace. He didn't even have full health almost. But he managed to completely wipe a furnace out. So I start another push here. I have my poison ready because I know he probably doesn't have his furnace back in rotation because his deck's not that cheap. And I do manage to get good value on the poison, getting both the E-Barbs and the Electro Wizard. I drop my Dark Prince again to deal with the E-Barbs, and as you'll see, he'll do a very good job with his splash damage and take those out pretty easily. And manage to distract the Mega Minion to allow me to chip that out too. Then my Lumberjack again goes on a little bit of an adventure, and he rages, which is super important. Do I drop my... I'm pretty elixir taxed, so I don't drop my HOG. I honestly didn't know. I thought this could have been a draw, but that 3-minute overtime is really good at preventing draws. He hasn't played his Golem forever. He kind of gave up on that, one thing you'll notice. And he does have even 477. He was in the lead in terms of elixir for a while, but where he kind of got greedy was his furnace, so he didn't play a card. Instead, he dropped his furnace. A better option may have been to actually drop the Golem, but he didn't do that. So I have a little bit of rage here. That's going to help my E-Wiz take things out, and I managed to get my HOG in there, and he's elixir taxed. Right now, he's in a lot of trouble, and I managed to take out his tower. So again, kind of got greedy with the furnace and ran himself a little bit low on elixir. And because he wasn't using his Golem, he already had 8 elixir, like an 8 elixir card stuck in the deck. And then his other 2 were 6 elixir along with, I can't remember what the other one was. So a good first win, or not my first win, a good first replay, I suppose. Kind of show you the versatility of the deck and how lethal it can be if you manage to play your cards right. So we're going to move on. Again, I went 9 and 2 with this deck. This guy had a tornado deck. We'll watch this one. Or I'll show you probably 2 more, I think. That's 12 minutes. That's a good length. So here we are. He's playing. He has another E-Barb deck. E-Barbs were very common in this challenge for me. Across my 4 accounts, I played them probably 70% of the time. Royal Giant saw maybe 50%, so I did see them with E-Barbs by themselves, but kind of like less overall. But not a lot of Lavaloon. Haven't seen a lot of that in general. Not a lot of Siege decks. I don't think I ever played a Mortar or an Expo, but yeah, so a lot of the common theme is really E-Barbs. I am kind of happy to see the Tornado prevalence raising. I always do like the card. It's a cool concept. I'm not using it here. I have switched to more of a poison, but it just suits the deck a little bit more. So again, you know, situational awareness. As you can see here, nice HOG push to start the game. He has no buildings. He will Tornado, which is a good Tornado. But I do manage to get that poison in, and because my kind of support units like my Ice Wizard and Electro Wizard did have enough health, that helped clean things up. So we're off to a pretty good start to the game. I have almost 1,000 damage on his tower. He chipped me a little bit, but not really 100 damage. It's like a drop in the bucket. And then my furnace is going to expire. I don't know, he's going to drop a Musketeer to deal with that, but I'm going to get a little bit of splash. These Fire Spirits are going to do nothing, though. I have my Lumberjack ready to deal with his Musketeer. Really, the Lumberjack's kind of like a P.E.K.K.A. Just a P.E.K.K.A., but when it dies, it has rage, and it's a lot quicker. It can punish you a lot more if it gets to the tower. So it's a little bit more to think about. I like it. I do have a level 2 one. On my main account, you can't really see that because, you know, it's not that. And here you see that rage is really going to help me chip that the Ice Wizard. The Electro Wizard, a lot of wizards. The Electro Wizard down, so that makes it a lot easier to clean up. I drop my Electro Wizard on it. Not a bad counter. I'll take a little bit of damage, but not that much. Executioner kind of is a little bit tricky. It makes me really have to prevent against stacking up my units. But my Ice Wizard is going to deal with that, and then I'll wait to start my hog push here. He does drop his musketeer, so I'm forced to drop my minions a little bit earlier. I would have preferred to wait to drop them with the hog, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So I do that, and I just kind of let that go. I'm a little bit high on elixir, so I place my furnace. This is a good time to drop it. He drops his hog, so it was very well timed by accident. I'm going to lumberjack that as well, and then I have my hog ready. So I try and let the lumberjack go first, because if he dies first, then he rages, and then I get more damage from my hog and more speed from that. So that's kind of the point of why you put that first. He does manage to execute a good tornado, but that means I'm going to drop my E-Wiz. I thought I dropped my E-Wiz. Guess I did not. I'm not going to drop my E-Wiz, apparently. I'm going to go with the furnace, and I start a lumberjack push here too, and then the hog in behind, because again, if the lumberjack dies, then that means I am able to use the rage he uses there. He logs that backwards, another good log play. So again, it's not really even. I definitely, not a really clear advantage. I do have an advantage, it's not a large one. So I'm still trying to grind it a little bit, trying to find a good card combination. My cycle's okay here, so the flow of cards through my deck is pretty good. It's not putting me at a severe disadvantage, just gets a little bit hairy. I had to sacrifice some minions to avoid the musketeer doing a crap ton of damage to me. And I do manage to get my lumberjack just to distract his execution a little bit more to the side. That's a wasteful tornado. He thought the execution was going to stay a little bit more alive, and that means I can poison, really push a little bit more. Really good Electro Wizard by him, though, to understand that he doesn't have a lot of cards, and that was the cheapest way to kill my push. I also dropped my Electro Wizard, which is going to help shut down the hog, along with minions behind it. I don't know what he was predicting, but he did drop a log. Maybe it was just chip damage. Right now, we're looking pretty good. We're at 653, so there's definitely an insight here. This is going to cause him a little bit concerned. Unfortunately, I got kind of unlucky. He dropped his Electro Wizard at the right time. Maybe he predicted it. If so, hey, more power to you. And then the extra zap saved his tower hit, which kind of prolongs the game a little bit more. I'm going to drop my Electro Wizard to counter that again. Electro Wizard was also pretty prevalent in this. It's just a really good card. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it needs to be balanced. I think it's just kind of useful if you have it. I don't think it's really I wouldn't consider it a match winner. It's not a card like Elite Barbarians that are going to absolutely murder your tower if you make a mistake. It's just a really kind of good general overall card. He decides he's going to go Tornado here. I'm gonna manage to get my poison down. He doesn't have a zap, which means my hog is going to get a hit. Actually, 2 hits. And that's the game. So there's another one. Again, very versatile deck. Let's see what I lost to. Let's take a look at the mistakes. So again, I only have 2 of them, so that's not bad. I'll take that any day of the week. So where did I lose to? I lost to a graveyard deck. I think I misplayed the graveyard on that. Graveyard Poison is also pretty strong. I didn't have a lot of chippy things. I was kind of experimenting with the Dark Prince. And also my 2 losses were back-to-back. One of them, I might have been playing a Lava Hand deck before that too. I'm not sure, maybe one of them was with Lava Hand. So I only had one real loss. It was actually the first game. But I think I saw the potential and I kind of went with it from there. Let's watch it. Let's watch to see what the deck kind of is weak against, or maybe I made a playing mistake. We'll see. So we're playing against Chiefer. Nice name. I press it from the Cool Klutz Clan. Huh. Interesting name. I'm not really a fan of that, but that's okay, whatever. Just for fun. So again, I'm going to start a little bit more defensive, drop my minions in the back here. I think the main issue I have with this is the graveyard, and the fact that it uses Knight and Bull to a really good extent to just kind of distract my tower and allow the graveyard to do maximum work. I think I really mishandle it. It's one thing I can remember from this game. This particular game, I think, is me screwing up the graveyard. But yeah. And even Dark Prince, honestly, can be pretty effective against the graveyard. Not susceptible to poison, which you kind of see in this current meta is a lot of poison graveyard combinations such as that. So having the Dark Prince like that can kind of help. One thing I never did play when I was kind of going through the arenas was double P.E.K.K.A. Prince, or not double P.E.K.K.A. Prince. That could be interesting though, mini P.E.K.K.A., big P.E.K.K.A., one of the princes. But double Prince P.E.K.K.A. I never really played one of those decks with the Dark Prince and the normal Prince. Progressing through with my other accounts, kind of my second and third one, I did use the Prince a lot because, again, at the lower levels, if people do make a mistake against it, it's pretty deadly. But up at the top, it's kind of like the Sparky. One of the other things I talked about on Radio Royale was kind of like how if you're in lower levels, Sparking can be absolutely terrifying, but now when you see it, it's like, it's a Sparky, and you kind of learn over time how to deal with it. So again, I dropped my minions here. I knew his poison. Well, maybe. I hope I knew his poison was out of cycle. So I knew my minions would be good to clean that up. So that was okay. That first graveyard push didn't do a lot, and I got a little bit of a counter push out of it. He's going to do his skeleton to distract, and then go with his bowler. But my minions are really going to help clean this up, especially with that rage spell. Again, rage spell on defense, very effective. Very, very effective. And I'll get a little bit of chip down on his tower. And then my fire spirits are going to come and do a little bit of work for me too. And he's going to say, well played. I actually clicked the wrong icon here. Oh no, I didn't. Could have swore. One of these times I hit my battery, my phone unplugged or something. I hit the battery logo and I accidentally closed the app. But one new thing that I did not know is if you do leave the app when you're playing, people don't get the you've left the match notification anymore. Supercell did remove that. They found that was too unfair and that people were pushing, which, you know, is to be expected when they did see that somebody left the match. So they did get rid of that. On another note, completely unrelated, my Dark Prince did help me clean up that graveyard. Unfortunately, we are going to run into a bowler, which is pretty much going to shut down my Dark Prince, but I'm going to get some good chip damage here. How close is... Oh, I also had this tower at 1. Let's see if I had the poison. I might have had the poison, I didn't play it. I did. I remember that. That was unfortunate. So you're going to see a super... super close result here. He does have his poison, he's going to play it, but I dropped my Dark Prince to counter it. So again, you can see the Dark Prince does a fairly good job. I also wasted an Electro Wizard. I'm not quite sure why. The Dark Prince might have been able to handle that by itself. But we are still in the lead. Oh my lord. What does he draw? He tornadoes. I definitely screwed this up. I definitely should have won this. So maybe it's not weak to Graveyard. I haven't found anything it's weak to. It might be weak to Lavaloon. Although air coverage with the Mega Minions and the Electro Wizard and the Ice Wizard would probably be fine. This is kind of where it gets a little bit stupid. The Poison Graveyard again or not. I don't know. What did I screw up? I'm going to drop my Lumberjack to deal with his bowler. I'm kind of curious to see where I went wrong with this. This is where the poison... I think the poison is going to take it down to 1. So... and then I think this is where it does take it down to 1. Please tell me I didn't have poison. I'm going to be so mad. This is where I completely misplayed. Ice Wizard's in the back. I'm not going to shut down the graveyard. So yeah. It does handle the graveyard well. I just completely overextended at the end. I also didn't realize until the end of the game that he only had 1 HP left on his tower. So that was my bad again. So, you know what? Again, not a real susceptibility. It's not really that weak to graveyard. You do have the minion coverage. You do have the Electro Wizard to add the zap if things do start to accumulate. And you also have the Dark Princess. They do drop an early poison and you can't use your minions. So there's a little bit of coverage with that. But now, you know, that's pretty much good. I'm going to take you through one more replay. I also lost to that deck. Huh. Oh, one of those other 2 losses must have been 10 to challenge. That's another graveyard deck. That one I also should have won, I think, because this is good against P.E.K.K.A. But I again got a little bit. I made a mistake on the graveyard. That's what happened with that one. But I think I'm just going to take you through my last win here. So it was against a giant balloon deck, and I got a little bit stupid. I kind of like this though. I appreciate this guy, Hitchu, because he was using an original deck. I haven't seen this deck before. Giant Skelly Giantin is also a Giantin. Giant Skeleton Giant is also a combo I haven't seen before, or maybe I probably have, but I haven't remembered seeing because it's extremely rare. I feel like, but that's okay. I appreciate it. I enjoyed playing this guy, and hopefully, you know, I wasn't his 3rd loss. Hopefully, he got another win. Because if you're using new decks and you're trying to be creative, you know, I hope you have success. People that use like Graveyard, or not really Graveyard even. People that use like Royal Giant E-Barb, stuff like that. Those people I don't really care if you get 3 losses, but people that are creative enough, I care. I care about you. You're doing good stuff. So here we go. Get a little bit of chip damage on my Electro Wizard. This is a game that I never really felt like I was going to lose. I felt fairly in control. This deck was very good at controlling kind of the pace of the game, what he had. The only issues I really had was when he started pairing Giant Balloon, because my Furnace was kind of out of cycle the first time that he did it. He caught me a little bit off guard. Because again, I hadn't been seeing a lot of Giant Balloon. I had been seeing maybe Giant E-Barbs. And especially with the especially with the Giant Skeleton, I didn't really know what to expect. So definitely a little bit of learning shock. So that was a really dumb play. And my Lumberjack is going to do a surprisingly good job taking out that Giant. He mowed through him. And now you can see my tower's rage. So I have my Ice Wizard. And it's in just the right spot to avoid splash damage. And my tower's going to be able to help out and chip that out too. So I decided I'm going to come with my Hog, see what he has. He drops a Giant Skeleton. Not the best counter to a Hog, but looking at his hand there, didn't really have anything else. Could have maybe went Minions, but again, I guess he was a little bit hesitant with the Ice Wizard there, which is understandable. So now I have to worry a little bit about the Ice Wizard, or the... Oh, jeez Louise. It is midnight where I am, so I mean, maybe that's why I'm screwing up all these names. But I did have to worry a little bit about the minions and the giant skeleton. But that parent I managed to just drop pretty well with the poison. So again, just knowing that I can't use the poison, I always chip out the tower. And again, if you kind of come into a game with kind of a set role for a card, like, oh, I can only use this on the tower and stuff like that, you're probably going to lose. That's kind of called negative set. It's a psychology term where you can't really think of things outside the box. So in terms of like problem solving, if you have like, I think the example in the textbook that I was reading is basically you have to fix a candle onto a wall, like on a shelf, and you're given like a matchbox, a couple of matches, and like a tack box, and basically kind of have to overcome the functional fixedness of things by like thinking outside of the way boxes. Oh my god. Outside of the box ways to use the item. So kind of how you'd solve that problem is you'd empty the tack box and you'd tack to the wall and then you'd mount the candle on that. So yeah, there's your psychology lesson for the day. So not getting like a fixedness of what each of your cards are used for is kind of important in Clash. The more adaptable you are, the better player you'll be. So like, you know, not always using freeze when your hogs on the tower, when you have that card that you consider your win condition on the tower is kind of important. You can use the freeze defensively to freeze big pushes and stuff like that, so your minions or whatever you're trying to clean up with can do more work. So yeah, while I managed to talk through that, we managed to win. So hopefully you understood what I did there, but frig that, we're not going to end on that. I didn't really do a good job of analyzing that. I got a little bit distracted, but that's okay. What do I want to show you? One more. Thank you for the minions, Niall. Not going to be a loss. Let's do this one. This guy's also using Dark Prince and Lumberjack. No, I don't want to do that one. What's one? This is... Alright, I'll show you how good it is against P.E.K.K.A. I have seen more people using P.E.K.K.A. So that's good. Malta also made a YouTube video called Make P.E.K.K.A. Great Again. I have said that before he did it. So I'm not claiming that idea, but I did say it before. I was saying it before it was cool. And I had the level 4 or 5, level 5 P.E.K.K.A. to prove it, but that's not really important. But right now I'm going to focus on taking you through this. So again, another guy with the furnace. Seen a lot of furnaces in this challenge too, and I poison. It's a good poison. I'm chipping out the furnace. I will get, I think, this wave of fire spirits, or I'll kill the furnace before. I will get the fire spirits. Kind of lag, but unfortunately my furnace kind of negated the damage that I did, but that's okay. So again, a little bit of a chip lead. 300, but hey, 300 less out to get at the end. And again, this guy is kind of running a weird deck, but I appreciate novelty. I like novelty. Battle Ram P.E.K.K.A. His miner did kind of cause me a lot of pain in the butt, pain in the ass, and at the end it kind of got a little bit hairy again. But you'll see that as we keep going. So I decided I'm going to push, again, Lumberjack minions, and he does drop his P.E.K.K.A. here, and my Lumberjack dies, and that means that with my Rage minions, I almost clean this thing up entirely. Like, that's again how if you think outside the box for Lumberjack, even if you use it as like a suicide bomb or a kamikaze card, it can be pretty deadly, just the rage and the help that I can give to your cards. So that's what allowed me to kind of clean up that P.E.K.K.A. pretty easily that time. And again, I saw the P.E.K.K.A. and I knew I had the Dark Prince, so I wasn't too concerned about playing a P.E.K.K.A. deck. That's kind of a deck that kind of plays into this hand. Again, one of the decks this is good against. And again, I haven't really seen a deck this isn't good against. If you get kind of overextended, again, the losses I had were to graveyard cards. But, I mean, in general, you just have to be kind of careful in the way you play the cards, and I haven't had any real issues yet, although I have just started playing with this. Hopefully, one day I'll be able to take this over to my main YouTube account, but again, because I do almost have all the legendaries on my main account, that's probably why I have to come here and watch this and do this on this account. But if I keep playing with it, I have success with it on the ladder. After I upgrade my Dark Prince, I'm going to need to crest a couple more of those. But I'll make another video and I'll outline the kind of the finer details, and maybe by then I'll have kind of seen what the struggles a little bit more with. So then, as you can see there, I use my Dark Prince to help mop that up. He does drop his P.E.K.K.A., which is kind of annoying, but I do manage to chip out the furnace, get some damage on the P.E.K.K.A. and some tower damage at the same time. I drop my minions again. This is the first time I've seen his Battle Ram, so that's a little bit new. I do have my building down. I drop my Lumberjack just to kind of help me with that. Ice Wizard in the back again. This kind of got a little bit hairy because my tower was locked on the minions. But I did manage to drop my Electric Wizard, and that helped me out a little bit. He's going to log. That's a pretty good log. Cleans up my Electric Wizard and my Ice Wizard. But then I hog push, and I drop my Poison. I waited a little bit longer just to see if he would play that Furnace, which he did. And that kind of results in me being able to chip the minions down too. So that was a good control element to that. A little bit of patience kind of paid off. And right now I'm in the driver's seat. I don't have that much room left to go. And I'm going to be able to just kind of... I thought it was going to be a Lumberjack, but nope. How do I take this out? I don't remember. He's going to play his Miner, and I'm going to deal with that with my Electro Wizard. Maybe this doesn't get hairy. It definitely does not get hairy. What am I saying? And right there, Poison Man. So I lied. Doesn't get hairy. Pretty clean. Just a nice overall win. So again, yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for today. Again, just kind of a glimpse into my inside, or glimpse inside my main account. I have dropped a lot of trophies. 2303. Again, that was kind of deck experimentation. So kind of the two decks I'm running, This is the one I just showed you. This is the one I've kind of been using mainly on the ladder. It has been working. I do find a little bit of issues with air, because again, the only card I have to really deal with Lavaloon and stuff like that is the Wizard, and to the Poison to some extent. And I find a lot of the times that if I do build up like a giant bowler push, Minions just absolutely shuts it down. So that's a little bit of the weakness of this deck. But again, the Zap and the Poison gives me kind of coverage against that, although I use the Poison more for like scarring me and stuff like that when the Giant gets closer to tower than dealing with early Minions, but that's okay. Again, having this many offensive cards, like really Giant, Graveyard, are my two win conditions. Bowler can be used defensively though, so it's kind of balanced, it's not bad. What's this one? And that was kind of the HOG double Wizard deck I was using before. I haven't used that in a while, but again, it's pretty cheap. 3.4, it's a good way to kind of chip through. Can get shut down kind of easily, and again, kind of you can shift the Poison in for the Fireball if you want to, a little bit more versatility, but again, that's not really what the focus of today was. It was actually this deck. So again, as soon as I get this Dark Prince upgraded, I do have it in the shop, and I bought a couple. It was in the shop, I guess, past tense. That was yesterday, which was 42 minutes ago, local time. So yeah, as soon as I upgrade this, so I think I only need two more Epic Sundays, unless it pops up in the shop. Then it'll only be one until I can upgrade that. And then hopefully I'll be able to play with it on ladder again. Level 2 Lumberjack kind of helps. Love another E-Wiz, love another Ice Wizard, any legendaries really. But again, 3.8, pretty cheap. Furnace, good coverage. It's just kind of a really fun, balanced deck, and it's not very meta. Zach Visser, you'd never use this deck because it's not meta. Just kidding. Come home soon, but yeah. So that's just a little bit of insight into this deck. Again, upgrade everything, I'll give you a little bit more information, and I'll probably have managed to figure out why I get absolutely 3 Camp Buy or something like that. So a little bit of new content in terms of that too. But other than that, if you're still listening to me yammer on and say things incorrectly, because again, I guess it is 12:42 where I live, I'm a little bit fatigued. I just want to take the time to thank you very much for watching, and remind you to keep calm and Clash on, my friends. Good night.